So here's why a simple brand refresh and updates to your website isn't automatically attracting the new quality of clients that you're looking for. So one of the things that I often see when, established service providers who have been in business for a few years finally figure out, oh, I want to work with this level of client. My services are, elevated now, and I want to work with a higher quality of client. And here's my new elevated price point. And then one of the first things they do, which is supposed to signal, I want to work with a higher quality person or higher quality client, is do a brand update. There's a photo shoot. The website is redesigned or just updated. You start updating your profiles on social media, and that's supposed to signal, I want to work with this type of person. You update your prices. The price point is supposed to signal, I want to work with a higher quality of client. So here's the price point to represent, these are the people who I want to attract. It's not that a brand refresh isn't going to make sense. Of course it makes sense. You want to showcase that you have reached this new level, and it will signal outwardly that what you're doing has changed. But you know what won't? When they look at your content and the content that you've been doing for the last few months and years leading up to this switch, and the quality of person you want to work with still speaks to the person who you were talking to in the past. It's not just changing a few words on your website. It becomes, now, does my content even align? And usually it doesn't. So what that means is all of that's going to have to make a shift. And it's starting with updating the words that you're using. The types of questions that higher caliber client is asking is significantly different than what the lower level client would have been asking, or the more early stage person who you were trying to attract. If I was a career coach, am I talking to people who are still at management level or C-suite level? Because people's questions at the management level and the questions that they're going to ask when they're trying to work with a career coach to get to the C-suite, those are different questions. If I'm in a relationship, am I just about to break up with someone, or have I healed and gone to therapy and now I'm looking for my next long-term relationship? Those are different questions that I'm asking at those stages. If I'm an early stage entrepreneur, the questions that I have about operations is very different than they are now that I've been in business for years and I know how things work and I know how to get my clients and what processes I go through with my clients. You got to think about, there are new levels of how you have to speak and the kind of content that needs to be out there. And you need to have those things working for you. And it's not as simple as just changing the look and the colors and the feel and the pictures. It becomes, am I positioned now to attract those people? And if they were to do a Google search right now, what would they find? And usually it's the old stuff. I know you, because you've done so well leading up to you making this switch to the higher quality or higher caliber of clients, because you were doing well attracting clients before, you think that your existing content is going to do its job, because it always has. You have the social proof. You're showing that you're working with people. But if you're still having to work hard and go to outside resources and relying on referrals and do a lot of extra content to try to get your point across, it's because your language hasn't caught up and your words hasn't caught up with who you're trying to attract now. You think that the simple adjustments is what it's going to take, but what it really does take is you to do a deep dive into the language that you're using, the questions, the process that newer type of person is going to go through into making a decision, and then everything else needs to follow that.